Hello, hello. How's everyone doing out there? That dating channel coming at you live. Today we're going to talk about broke versus successful and which man do women want to date, which man they're willing to date, which man is the most attractive, broke or successful. That does not mean they're good men or bad men. I am just talking broke or successful. A lot of women out there are out there saying some things like, I want a good man. I want a guy that treats me well. I just want a guy to hang out with. I just want a guy to create memories with. I just want to go out with a guy that's going to treat me good. Then they find that guy who makes 35 to 50 a year. And they're like, he doesn't make enough money to allow me to travel with him. Take weekend trips, do dumb shit that generally men don't want to do. Generally, men just kind of want to do their own thing. But successful men, men that make good money, men that have a lot of resources, are out there partying it up, having a good time, going wherever they want, flying wherever they want, doing whatever they want. And that's attractive. But sometimes those successful men don't treat you good because they have 80% of women pursuing them. 80% of women are going after those men. Whereas the attractive male that makes and is happy making 35 to 50 a year, happy as hell, has a little place, goes fishing, it's just a regular bro. Women would like that guy, but will they choose him over a successful man with a lot of resources? And if they do find a guy that's successful with a lot of resources, are they willing to share him? Now, women don't even like hearing that stuff. And I've already talked about that in the past. But I think it's cultural. I really think it's a culture thing. Bear with me. I have dated women from many different cultures. Colombian, Venezuelan, Cuban, American, Black, German, European, Russian, you name it. I've dated all of them. And the woman that sticks out the most is a traditionally, like a Hispanic woman with traditional values. Okay, a Hispanic woman with traditional values. Let's talk loyalty. No woman is more loyal to their man than a Hispanic traditional household. A young lady or woman that comes from a family that has the father and the mother still involved is going to see that relationship as the template to strive for. And I'm sure that if they grew up with a mom and dad in the house, dad probably wasn't super successful if he came from a Hispanic community, Puerto Rican or whatever. I'm not saying that Puerto Ricans or Hispanics in general can't make a lot of money. I'm just saying percentage-wise, typically people in the Hispanic world community or Hispanic world don't make a shitload of money, but they're tight-knit, they're loyal as fuck, they're family-oriented, and Hispanic women that come from a traditional home want to basically mimic that and copy that. American women that come from a broken home typically mimic that. Okay, I honestly think, and I'm just going based off of experience, gentlemen. Seriously, just based off of experience, I see that American women or Americanized women, not necessarily white girls, but I'm saying women that were born and raised in the United States, whether they're Black, Hispanic, whatever descent, culturally, they've been basically told they're bad bitches. You could do whatever you want, act like a hoe, twerk, do dumb shit, and they should still hold you as a high value woman. They should still see you as top tier because you're a bad bitch. You're just exercising your badassery. And if a man is insecure about that, and that's the word that all these women use. What, are you insecure? You don't like going out with a strong woman? No, I just don't like going out with a woman that acts like a fucking slut and a whore everywhere. So the Hispanic household tends to overlook money, typically. But let's say you're together for a long time with a Hispanic woman and y'all want a house. Well, that woman is not going to dump you for a guy that can get you a house, get her a house. That woman is going to say, hey, Roberto, you and I need to get her money up so we can get a house. And they'll actually lift up the man's ambition, because the man's going to look at her and go, she wants a house and my job as a male is to provide. So I'm going to work really hard with her so that we can both have our dream home. Whereas American women go, if he don't got his shit on point, I'm not even going to enter that relationship because I don't want a project car. Let's talk about that. Have you guys come across that? And we've also talked about men in their 20s. We've all talked about men dating in their 20s that, in my opinion, I wouldn't really seek out, knowing what I know now. And I have the hindsight is 2020. I have the ability to go, if I had to do it all over again, I would enlist in the military or grind my ass off in my 20s and not date any girls. That doesn't mean I wouldn't be slaying puss. That means I would just not lock it in with anybody in my 20s. And I think I would have been further along in life. But in the last 6 years or 7 years, life has been really good to me. But all I've done is work. Put my head down and do nothing but work. And it has really benefited my life. Let's say hi to the people here. We'll talk a little bit about women choosing broke men that are good to them versus successful men that might have more options but have more resources. Which one is more attractive to an American woman? Fresh Pastelas in the house says, what's good, bicho? Fresh Pastelazo is also here, so he's the same guy. JD Swag, good evening, gentlemen. 2000 MCR. TRD Ricky, TJ, Melissa, the cookie lady. By the way, I got your cookies today. Hey, yo. Thank you so much. You guys sent me like 10 cookies. Holy shit. Really appreciate that. I'm going to give, what I do is I spread the love here. I give it out to a lot of people in the complex. I am not their friend. I just go, I'm the cookie man. And they usually either go, who the fuck is this? I go, look them up on Instagram. I spread the word. I am the cookie dealer here. Second shift racing. Women date up, not down. You are not wrong. You're not wrong, second shift racing. Like second shift racing, Garrett, he's a good guy. Good looking guy too. But he seems very focused on his grind. He wants to do the racing thing. He wants to do, he really wants to push his racing, his channel. I'm sure he's about his work and his buddies, and he's really passionate about the racing culture. He'd have to find a woman that's down with his shit, as opposed to a woman that isn't into racing at all, and she has to kind of like get on your program. That's going to be very difficult, but I'm sure he's not out there stressing it. I don't think second shift racing is out there stressing relationship. There's many men like that, guys. Many men that simply want to race their car and they work nonstop to race their cars. And that was me. And I understand the whole thought process. And about the last thing I was worried about was chicks when I was racing my car. Will Fowler says, most women tend to settle like mine did. Nice. Long Dong Silver says, hello. Pat, the one that will catch replay, but women steer towards a high value man because it's all about what the man can do or will potentially provide. Guys, stack your money and find a good girl. And that's the rub, right? That's the rub. Men typically don't want to answer to this question. Are you dating me for me, or are you dating me for my resources and what I can provide? Well, gentlemen, let's do this. Let's all of us stack our paper and bang chicks in your 20s, and when your head starts to come out of your ass in your mid-30s, then you can find a girl that you can maybe, provide for, or at least have the resources to be able to do whatever you want and not ask that question. Because if women started to ask, are you dating me for my personality or this wop? Are you dating me for my personality or this neck though? You don't want the answer to that question, ladies. I've dated women for their ass. I can specifically remember a girl I went out with who was ugly as shit, but her ass was a 12. I dated her for her ass, and she was my age. You know what I'm saying? Redbird and YouTube say what's up. Mo Slides, Shark Miles, Jared Wells. Is your little lady, suppose he got shacked up. Is your little lady watching the show? Because she probably is not going to like this show. Jeremiah Camp in the house. Thomas Akumbe, SK Jeff. Discerning Corpse says, thank you, Alex. Paraguan Tutirimicuaro says, what's up, bicho? Buenas noches. Bengale Alan Galvin, the Murder Smurf, checking into the LS support group. Matt 2011 GT says, "Sup Corvette guy." Lex Luthor, Caddy V, the murder snurf. Thank you. The ZR1 is a pretty bad. Look, I looked at it again today and I'm like, I can't believe this shit's in my garage. Seriously. I look at it and I'm like, that's pretty fucking badass. Alex just defined 80% of middle class India. Traditional women with morals, mom and dad together. JD Swag, in your culture, the family, the family stays together regardless. Right? You guys pool money together to help a son or somebody, right? It is a thing in the Indian community, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they pool their money together. Everyone lives in the same fucking house. It's like Mexicans, 13 fucking generations in a house. But when a couple gets introduced to each other, they pool their money and they really take care of the next generation and set them up for success. And they put them in the cash register at the shelf. Hey, you got to sell some of the boner pills. They're good profit, okay? The boner pills are margin 30%. Sell. And you guys do a really good job of setting up the next generation for success. Oliver Bryan says, "Hey, Alex, my wife and I just got married. And both have been together for 5 years. Both just graduated. She's the only one that works." Uh-oh. I start law school in 2 weeks. Uh-oh. She's gonna start to resent you. Now, maybe you guys are super solid. Maybe you guys are the only couple in the history of couples that the woman brings home the bacon, looks out for her man while he gets his law degree, for the hope that once you become a lawyer or have your law degree, that shit's gonna work out. I got it, Oliver. I got it, baby. You and I, we're a team. I'm gonna go out and work, and you're gonna study law for what, 4 more fucking years? Hopefully pass the bar the first 6 times and become a lawyer. And again, ladies and gentlemen, just because you are a lawyer does not automatically mean you're going to make big money.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Many lawyers can, and depending on the field of law that they choose to go in, can either make big money or barely $80,000 a year. I recently joined the 6-figure club and I never had less female attention than now. Why? Probably because I'm always busy, always working, or at the track. Dylan K, stay that way. And a busy man about his grind is attractive to the right woman. A busy man about his grind is attractive to the right woman. That doesn't mean that women are just going to flock to you if they don't know you're available. You have to put in some effort. You have to go out there and actually make it known that you're single, don't have a lot of time, but because you're about your grind and your passion. And the right girl will come along and she'll get on your program. My problem is I get paid so good that I can't stop working to date. Going on 7 months and still ain't been home. And that's the best thing to do. Because Lex, you're a young guy. And the best thing to do is to work. Once your head comes out of your ass and you can say, okay, I can now make the same kind of money, but stay home or work a lot less and manage your fleet of trucks, then you could do all the bullshit you want to do. Just don't dump your money into some Colombian chick, bro. Now, she wanted me to come over, but tired from work. So she wanted me to come over, but I'm tired from work, so I'm staying in. I just turned 30 last week, says potential to do it live. When I was 28, I started to put my head down and work recently. I started grinding towards my goals. For being freshly 30, should I still keep my head down or date now? Keep your head down. Guys, I dated. That doesn't mean I was looking for a relationship. When I started making the kind of money that I thought, man, this could be really good. Like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I saw my future, what it could look like if I worked 60 to 70 hours a week, maybe 80. And I said, I could do this for as long as my body allows. That doesn't mean I stopped banging chicks. That doesn't mean I didn't go to Tinder, Bumble, Match, and find girls, have a nice date, treat them nice, see where it went, splick-ack, and then go, yeah, I'm not feeling this. And then I moved on. If I found a girl during that time, great. But the girls that I was meeting were super low quality. That doesn't mean they can't get this dick, though. You know what I'm saying? By the way, she cannot support us on her income alone. I had to take out student loans to support via my family to keep us going. Oh my God, you guys are setting yourself up for either great things or very terrible things. Oliver Bryan, this is not a good look in my opinion. In my opinion, as a man, as a male, as a red-blooded American male, I don't think I could ever, like my ex-girlfriend made the bulk of the money in my last relationship, but I always paid my half. You know what I mean? Like there was a couple of times where she floated some dough for certain living situations, and I just didn't have it. You know, we're moving. I just couldn't get established. Funny thing, like the moment I broke up, I got way up, like skyrocketed. And I went, was I holding myself back in order to keep the relationship alive? Was I saying no to a lot of jobs in order to keep the relationship alive? Yeah, because I thought to myself, I have to be available for her. I prioritized her. Once I stopped doing that, I got way up on money. And the rest is history. Get it, Ranjit. Yo, if the money is good, keep grinding. That's what I'm saying. I would never tell somebody to stop working because a broke man is less attractive than a successful man. Now, that doesn't mean he's a better man. A successful man is a better male. And when it comes to dating, if you want your best chances of landing someone decent that gets on your program, well, a woman is more likely to get on the program of a successful man than a broke man. Let's say, okay, maybe this describes some of you out there on the chat. You go to work you're scheduled to go to work at 7:30 and you show up at 7:32. Your first break is at 9:30 and you get to the break room at 9:25. Break is supposed to end at 9:45. You don't get out of the break room till 10. An hour and a half later, lunch comes, you leave 2 minutes early, get back 2 minutes late. And then you're supposed to leave at 5, and at 4:58 you leave. You're a fucking bum. That's what I think of men with balls that do that type of bullshit. Okay, you're a fucking useless bum if you are if you carry yourself that way. If you start work at 7:30, you better fucking be there at 7 or 7:15 ready to go to work, because you start work at 7:30. You don't start to get ready for work at 7:30. 7:30, you should be working at 7:25. Breaks? What are those? What are breaks? Lunch? Fuck it. I'll have it at my fucking desk. Y'all pay overtime? Yeah, I'm going to skip my lunch and I'm going to get this money. And can I stay a half hour late? Hey, boss, can I stay an hour late to get more of this bread? That man is more likely to make it than the former. You know what I mean? So if a man has that kind of personality, but he treats his woman really good and he's a nice boyfriend, but he has this not only broke mentally, but broke physically, like the way he thinks about work is do the bare minimum and get by. That's not an attractive male to a woman. A man that thinks about his money constantly and chases it is more attractive than the former. There are some smoking hot women in JD's culture as well. Yeah, but they don't have no ass. Hey, JD, how come Indian women have zero ass? Theo Alex, how old were you when you bought your first house? 23 years old. Sorry, 22 years old. Bought a duplex with my sister, co-signed on it. Got super hosed on that deal. You guys want to hear that story? You guys want to hear that story? Did I tell you about the duplex? Did I tell you about how me and my sister ended up not talking anymore because of the duplex situation? That's a good story, guys. Usually, if it's a girl, they save for her marriage. And if it's a boy, he gets the house and the money they save throughout their life. House gets renovated for each generation, build a house nearby. See, that culture has it figured the fuck out. Christian singles, just got my CDL permit. Catholic mingles. Oof. As always, thanks for the advice, Alex. Much appreciated, bitcho. Dylan, you got it, brother. I'm here for that. Good morning, good morning. Been a minute since I've been on a live, working like crazy. Potential to do a live, says my ex. From 3 years ago, I paid for everything. I had to float money for basically everything we needed. Once we ended, my money went up to 6 figures and hasn't dipped since. Once your money gets to 6 figures, once you finance a vehicle that's big money, the creditors go, whatever you want, papi. Here, they roll out the red carpet. But you got to be careful not to take advantage of that. Like, once you finance something big, it's like the banks go, yeah, this guy can pay it. It's all good. You know, his income's good. His income's legit. Boom, boom, boom. And they come after you. Usually that happens when you concentrate on something that you want. When you do something for a woman financially that isn't looking out for you in the same way you're looking out for her, it'll set you back some. And it happened to me. Now, my first long-term relationship was great. I was just a broke young kid. My second long-term relationship was good because I laid out the groundwork early that I didn't want kids. Like, I laid it out there very early. I don't want children. Are you still down with this shit? She said, sure, I'm down with that shit. 3 years in, she's talking all this kid bullshit. And I'm like, nope, we got to bounce from the situation. But I was a good boyfriend. Nobody could ever look back on my relationship, but the previous, and if you were looking at it constantly, how I moved around her, how I moved by myself, the loyalty, the guys, I've had pussy in my face in my last relationship. And I said, nope, can't do it. Like, vagina, here you go. Here's free vagina, Alex. Are you going to fuck it? And I'm like, no, I'm a loyal dude. Fuck that. In hindsight, I should have destroyed every vagina that was presented to me. But what are you going to do? A cave woman doesn't want a bad hunter. Don't schedule your life around a woman, says Kilometers. Allow her to schedule around your grind. If that doesn't work, then it's not meant to be. Be the man that brings home the bacon, and a good woman will recognize. A woman just wants a man with a ZR1. Like, my girlfriend is astonished by the car. She's just like, she like doesn't compute in her head. Like, she sees it in the garage and she's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that thing? I'm like, you'll see. Andre says, me coming in 30 minutes early and staying 30 minutes over my end time. I like that. Let's hear. Tell us. Yes, let's hear it. Yes, tell that story. Tell the story. 11:30 to 8:30 shift here. There at 10:50. Lunch at 5:30. Afterwards, it's time to race or wrench. See? That dude's about his grind. He'll end up with a fucking badass chick from Alabama one day. Tell us you can't pick your family member right. Alex, the ass part is an issue because girls usually eat less. Also, mostly are vegetarians, so less muscle mass, hence less ass. If I could get anyone's opinion on the chat or forum, Alex, I work on nuclear outages for my main job. I'm off during the summer. Only job I could find is a car wash. Is this a job a bad look for the money? If you're working at a car wash, it is a bad look. But if you're grinding and you're making decent money in nuclear outages, while you work your next nuclear outage, you're doing car wash stuff? I don't know. It all depends on how much money you're getting paid at the car wash versus how much money you're doing in nuclear out. Like, if I make $100,000 in 3 months in nuclear outages and then I do car wash stuff, fuck it. It's not a good look if you're trying to get a girl at the car wash. What did I miss? I've been in that situation before too. Cooter face. I should have just split cack. Exactly. Okay, let's tell you the story, guys. Story time of my first house. So I was the first one in my family. My father and mother had 3 kids. Carlos, Carol, and myself. I'm the youngest of 3. Carol had a boyfriend that was older than her, and she was staying at his place all the time. So once she, quote unquote, moved out, that was that. I got an apartment. I got an apartment in Holyoke, North Holyoke, nice area, and things are good. So because I did nothing but work, because I did nothing but bust my ass as a 20 to 23-year-old kid, I worked 60, whatever hours I worked at a candle company. Whatever hours they wanted me to work, I would work. And my credit was good for the age of the credit, and my income was good for the for my age. Because I had my own apartment, everything. Had my own apartment, everything was awesome. So my sister wanted to buy a house. She wanted to buy a duplex. So I don't know how you guys define duplexes, but to me, it's a side by side, two separate units, but together, meaning two separate apartments, but under one roof. Both had 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and a basement, and a good sized driveway, right? In 2000 or 1999 to 2000, it was selling brand new for $125,000. So she did not have the credit to get her over the hump to be able to finance the home. So she says, would you be willing to co-sign on the home? They're only asking a very small down payment, which she had from a car accident. Puerto Rican down payment. Car accident. She sued, saved the money, and she said, I need your credit to get me over the hump, and you could lease the other side from me. I said, well, technically it'd be both of our houses, so we could do it, no problem. We're brother and sister. We're blood thicker than water. It's no big deal. Blood's thicker than water. Never go into a financial situation with a family member. So the deal was this. Everything down the middle. We split everything down the middle. The mortgage, taxes, it was all escrowed in, so it was just one big payment. And then leave me the fuck alone, I said. I said, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to be left alone because all I did was work, come home, and raced in the summer or played baseball. I had a very busy life. So, great. Bought the house. We both co-signed on the home. And the mortgage ended up being like $970 something. So, guys, I'm going, my rent went from $600 to a mortgage, half of a mortgage, PMI'd, escrowed, taxes, $400 something. Shit, I'm up. Beautiful. 22, 21 years old, half owner of a duplex. I'm up. Awesome. Got my girlfriend around that time. Things are looking great. Got a little pit bull puppy. Things are looking awesome. The deal was, once we reached 1 year, after the 1 year anniversary of us owning the home, if we were able to refinance the home and get my name out of it, and I would just lease from her, because in my mind, I said, I just helped her out as a brother, but I did own the home. I just helped her out as a brother. She put the down payment, from a car accident. And as long as the terms stay the same, I'm a happy cat. It gets off of my credit. It looks like I bought and sold the house in my credit. Things are looking good. And my mortgage is my rent is going to be under $500 for a 3-2. Fucking win, right? Like, super win. So we go to refinance. The housing market exploded around that time. People were doing subprime lending left and right. So the house was worth more money. We were able to refinance the house for nothing. I got out of it. The lawyer looked at me in the eye sockets and said, are you sure you want to sell your half for nothing? I said, I'm a man of my word. This is family. I said, I'm simply going to give up my half so that she could own the home under her name, because no money came out of my pocket, just my credit, which I found that later is way more important than money. So we do that. We do the refinance. Boom, I'm done. Right, we sign all that paperwork. My name is out of the house. It's 100% under her name. The new payment is lower. That's right. The new payment, I looked at the paperwork. Oh my God, I'm only going to pay $425 because the mortgage went down. Everything's good. That night, she knocks on my door, right? Boom, boom, boom. So I open the door. I go, what's up? She goes, oh, you got to sign these papers. So I thought I forgot to sign the rest of the paperwork. I'm like, I'm a young kid. I'm dumb. I'm like, well, what's this? She goes, oh, no, just don't worry about it. Just sign the last page. And I said, what is it? She goes, just don't worry about it. Just sign the last page. Now, guys, up to this point, we have had no rental agreement. No rental agreement. Here's half the mortgage. How much is it? Here you go. Thank you. So she presents me a stack of papers like this. The day I signed my name off the house. And it was a rental agreement. A legally binding rental agreement. So I said, so I'm starting to flip through it while I'm standing at the doorway, and I'm like, this looks like a rental agreement. I'm 22, but I'm not fucking stupid. She goes, yeah, just sign the last page. I go, no, I'm going to read it. She goes, you don't have to. I go, I'm going to fucking read it, okay? So I read it, guys. I was now responsible for almost the full rent. Yes, the full mortgage, sorry. She wanted to up it to the full mortgage amount and then some. And if I did not sign the document, I had to move out in 30 days. So now in that year, I bought a little Chevy 4x4 pickup truck, a beat up trailer, and my notch was an 11.7 car all the fucking time at Lebanon Valley Dragway. I'd go up there every Friday night after work, get in my truck, drive 45 minutes or an hour to Lebanon Valley, New Lebanon, New York, and race my car all night. I was the happiest kid ever. So in that 1 year, the low rent had helped me get a nice little hot rod, little truck, nice little operation. Then she says, oh, by the way, now you're going to pay over $900 rent. Now you're responsible for the yard. You're responsible for this. I'm like, excuse me? So I did not sign that paper. Now, what did I do? I just waited it out. I just put the paper somewhere else, and I said, fuck that. So she would come over and go, hey, what's going on? How come you haven't signed the paper? I'm like, because that's a rental agreement. You're trying to make me you're trying to become my landlord. Without me, you wouldn't have this house. You understand? Without me putting up the bulk of my credit, because you had nothing and no income. She had no income. You wouldn't have this house. And she's like, well, you either have to sign it or you have to get out. I said, okay, no problem. So what did I do? I sold everything. I sold everything. I sold the truck, the car, furniture that I could sell because there was like beef about that furniture. Everything. And you know what I did? I bought a house. I bought my second home like a year later. I bought my second home down the street some because I got used to the neighborhood. I bought a Queen Anne Victorian for $119,000 and I had to put like $20,000 down and my mortgage was going to be like $900. It was stupid. But out of like spite, I said, I am not fucking paying you when you just did this bait and switch situation. So the moment I got into that house, I had nothing. No furniture, no nothing. I had a dog, a Lincoln Mark 7 LSC, and my girlfriend. And my girlfriend was supportive as shit. And she goes, I can't believe she fucking did you dirty like that. I said, it's okay. We got this. And we did. We were able to work it out. But that house was a fucking nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare of a house. It was old. It needed all a bunch of work. But I made it happen. And I stayed there for like 5 or 6 years. So I would never do any business with family. Now, that led to me literally not talking to her ever again. Since that happened, it ended my relationship with my sister. I said, nah, fuck you. Suck my dick, dumb bitch. Are you insane? What the fuck do you think you are? Now, everyone on my family side thought I was the asshole. Everyone in my family thinks I'm the asshole. Everyone in my family thinks I screwed her over. But maybe now they'll listen to this and get the full story. So it was an interesting thing that happened back in the day. Yeah, tenant, thank you. She was trying to make me the tenant. And I was like, when everyone says, but the family, fuck the family. How many years has it been? Over 20? I was 22. I'm 44 now. 22 years. Don't need to say shit. I don't need to say shit. My brother me and him also kind of fell out of favor out of some dumb shit. I was like, you know what? Good, because you can't pick your family. You just can't pick your family. Sometimes they look at you as, because I'm the youngest of 3, but the most successful by far. The youngest of 3 and the most successful by far. And I think they think that I'm hiding money from them or something. So I think they think that I owe them or something like that. They probably only heard her side of the story. Exactly. They only heard her side of the story. And, whatever. Like, that's fine. Like, unfortunately, my family, isn't that smart. They're not that smart. They're great people, but they're very, very like off the boat types. And even if you explain like what I explained to you guys, they still wouldn't get what the issue is. They go, why didn't you just pay the rent? Like, why didn't you just do this? Why didn't you just do that? And I'm like, excuse me? Like, you don't know what I just did? Oh, all you did was sign your name. Excuse me? You think all I did was sign my name? Oh my God, dude. It's unbelievable trying to fuck with family like that. Every family has issues. Absolutely. Absolutely. What a thoughtful, caring sister you have. Right. So she loves to play the victim. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to play that game. So in order for me not to play the game, I just stopped talking to her. And that's the best medicine. Just don't even acknowledge their existence. Because I can do that. I have this ability of going, and I cut you off forever. I could look at you right dead in the fucking eyes at Walmart, Publix, gas station, and I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, and I do it to family. So I'll easily do it to a girlfriend. No problem. Mr. Flores Sr. must be proud of you right now. Unfortunately, Mr. JD Swag, he doesn't understand what happened. He has no idea what actually happened. So what are you going to do? So why was the lawyer asking if you were certain about giving up your half for nothing? Because he had never seen that happen. He's like, you're entitled to half of the money. And at the time, the house was worth $160. He goes, technically, she should be buying you out for $80,000. And I said, oh my God, that's crazy. She's my sister. Never, ever do any business with family members. Money and family, money will always win. And unfortunately, but you know what? It was a great learning lesson. It was great because I didn't have to deal with that person anymore. I didn't have to deal with, it wasn't like perfect up until that point. There was a lot of dumb little issues that I said, why am I dealing with this fucking motherfucker? But once that went away, gosh, life was good, man. I'm telling you guys, when you get rid, it's like cutting off a rotting limb. You understand? You don't want to let go of the limb because you feel you need it. And then when you cut it off and you go, I don't have any pain. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm just going to kind of go do stuff. And that's how it felt getting rid of certain family members. It's like cutting off rotting limbs. I'm a civil engineer, 45 years old. I saved $100,000 since the coronavirus for my new Z06, Z07. And it'll be around $170,000. My first supercar. I'm excited. Good for you, bro. I too distance myself from family as well. They're controlling and judgmental, but have a lot of skeletons. My racing friends are the closest I have. That's why they say you can pick your friends and not your family. Exactly. If it was up to my family, I would have had 4 kids, drank all the time, been loyal to Puerto Rico, and should have never left town. Like that's the problem with having family. Okay. I don't know how we got on this subject, but that's the nice thing about this show is we talk about one thing and it goes on to something else. Family is the biggest, it could be the best and worst thing you have. If you have a supportive family that are willing to help you, support you, and guide you to your best outcome, that's wonderful. But the problem is a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us have family that resent you for doing better than them. Guys, do you know how many times I got made fun of because I had a new car? Every time I showed up to a Christmas party, I had a 3/4 ton 2001 Silverado HD. 3/4 ton. Cab and a half, white, nice wheels, nice truck. Nice truck. When I would pull up to the parking lot and people could see my truck from the apartment they were having the party at, they're like, yo, whose truck is that? And I'm like, oh, that's mine. And they're like, damn, you must have some money. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Moneybags. And I'm like, guys, I financed it. And the payment is $310 a month. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Moneybags. And I'm like, why do I come here? Why do I come here? So that was a very constant thing growing up because my mindset was, let's get this money. Let's race some cars. I was very Americanized and my family wasn't. So when a family member sees you doing better than them and both of you came from the exact same place, exact same apartment, exact same opportunities, exact same parents, exact same situations, school and everything, and you do 10 times better than them, they resent you for it. So they start to try to pick at you and say, well, you're not shit. You're still that dumb little bitch I used to pick on when I was, pick on me now. So that's sometimes you just got to cut off family if you don't have people that are going to support you, regardless of what's going on in your life, guys. If you are not supported by your girlfriend, friends, or family, dump them. You need nothing like that in your life. A woman never cries for what she has done, but will cry for the consequences she received. Right. My sister became the victim in that situation, and she convinced everyone in the family that I screwed her over. And that's okay. Because if in turn that made people that didn't ask me what went down, like let's say there was an uncle and he was hearing the story. He's like, oh, is that what happened? Well, let me make sure that Alex has a corroborating story. Let me hear his side. No. Alex did this to me. What an asshole. I hate him too. Okay, fine. So that's a good thing, because the people that did that were immediately cut off also. I'm sure a lot of us have family drama, family issues. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't, because I literally divorced and dumped my family. I love my dad. He's a great man. He did a great job raising me. My mom's great. But sometimes you just got to cut motherfuckers off so that you can progress and grow. Like, I guarantee if my family members are seeing my YouTube channel, they must think I'm hiding a bunch of money somewhere. I work 80 hours a week plus. I'm not hiding anything. I work for everything I've had. But they won't believe that. They'll believe I hit the lottery or that. I'm like, I live in an apartment. Now, if you guys see me in a 5'3" with a big badass garage and an acre and a half, yeah, you can start speculating and start pocket watching then. Some families are like that. They don't want you to do better than them. That sucks, man. No, look, I'm not hurt by it. I'm happy that I was able to get away from the family very early on. My ex never met my family. Never. Not one fucking time. I told my current girlfriend, I said, you'll never meet my family. Like, you'll never meet my family. Like, ever. She's like, really? I go, yeah. And if that's weird, I get it. And she goes, no, I don't care. Every family has some crazy in it. And if you don't think so, it's you. Must be nice. I'm lucky I didn't have any siblings. Yeah, dude, trust me. I wish I was an only child. I have friends that make more than me, but because I'm frugal and they travel a lot, I have more money and can afford nicer cars. They get mad. People love to just, I don't know. Instagram and Facebook make me laugh because the naivete of the people that believe that they have to visit those places. Oh my God, look at that infinity pool in fucking Dubai. I got to do that. Okay, $5,500 later. Was that worth it? Because now you have nothing but memories. You have no tangible assets. You have nothing that you can physically pick up and feel, drive. Nothing. You wasted $5,500 on a memory. So I would look at it this way. I don't mind paying $70,000, $80,000 for a car that I drive every day for years, as opposed to one trip to Dubai to take a picture at a certain infinity pool. So stupid. But then they criticize you for prioritizing being with friends over them. Yeah, fuck that. Look, because I don't want it to be about me and family, but let's just say I was very groomed as an early kid to do this shit myself. Not on purpose. Not on purpose. Okay? So let me give you some examples. So you guys have family, right? You guys have family. Let me give you some examples of things I experienced, and maybe it'll give you kind of like a window as to how my brain works and how I operate, right? I played baseball since I was 13 years old, right? There was nothing more important to me at 13 than making the summer baseball team that my friends played in. All my friends played in the front yard. There was a big church parking lot, and we would play stickball there. And then they said, man, you should play organized baseball. You're good. And I'm like, I'm not that good. I just play street ball. And he's like, no, you're good. So you should try out for the team. So I had to beg beg and plead, Dad, I need $20 to apply for the league. $20 just to apply. And he was like, oh my God. Now I love him. I love my dad. But certain men are built to support you in a certain way. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm complaining. My dad was a great man. So after begging for a long time for $20, finally gave me the $20. I went ahead. I applied. I got quote unquote drafted. There was like a little mini draft, which was kind of funny. And then I tried out and I made the team. Right? So then one time I show up to the house in a uniform. I show up to the house with a uniform. And my dad's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, it's my baseball uniform. He's like, oh. Like, he was totally unaware that I made the baseball team. That's fine. I had a little bicycle, a little GT Performer, and the parks were less than 2 miles away. So I would bike my ass right after school. I'd bike my ass to the practices, to the games, and some of the games are far. Luckily, the coach was nice enough to sometimes pick me up in the car. Since 13 years old, up to the age of 35, I played baseball. Let's do some math. Calculator. So let's say 35 minus 13. So I played baseball for 22 years. Let's say between summer ball and fall ball, I played 30 games on each. So times 60. So 22 times 6. Is that true? So 22 years, 60 games a year. 1,320. Nice number, by the way. So I had over 1,320 games. I don't know if that's right. 22 years, maybe it is. But let's just say I played over 1,000 games. Guys, take a guess how many of those games any of my family members showed up to. Put it in the chat. Out of over 1,000 games that I played from the age of 13 to 35, how many baseball games do you think any of my family members went to? Put it in the chat. Let's talk about this. It's okay, Alex, we'll be your family. Do you know anything about your sister now? Not a goddamn thing. If she died, I wouldn't even know it. Damn, I tuned in and Alex is saying what I needed to hear. I don't get why coworkers even are mad about the things that I buy and how I make money when we get paid the same. I just turn more hours and I don't have a kid and a family like they do, so the money's mine. Right. They get mad that you have a F450, look like you're doing well, a race car, a 3-valve out of all things. I'm 25. I did 6 years in the Navy and just got out, paid off my F-250, had money now, and I'm down looking into the steel mills. They make damn good money. 12-hour shifts, 4 on, 4 off, $1,200 to $1,700 a week. Good for you. I only like going to the beaches nearby, and that's it. Okay, here are the guesses of how many family members went to over 1,000 games. Someone said 11-second clip says 0. Second shift racing 0. Donkey cluster 69. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. Sasso, goose egg. 1. They avoided games. Exactly, guys. I had 0 family members show up to any of my games. So, what does a young kid do when their family doesn't support what he does? He does it himself. I don't sit there and cry about it. I don't sit there and get all emo about it. I go, let's go. Let's become the best. So I remember my father liked to read the newspaper once in a while. He liked to pick it up once in a while and just kind of dabble through it. So guess who's on the front page of the newspaper like this? Fucking squaring up a ball with an old Easton. Alejandro Flores powers the Parazards over the number 1 seeded Eagles. He went 4 for 4, 2 doubles and a home run. So my father's reading that and he goes, "Is that you?" And I went, because I had a game when he was asking that. He goes, "Is this you?" And I was like, "Hey, I got a game. I got to go." that must have been like a jab to the heart to the dude. But I took that energy and I said, I'm going to be the best. Nothing is better than putting a chip on my shoulder. Anybody fucks with me. Anybody fucks with me. And they put a chip on my shoulder, I become the fucking best. I get this crazy hyper focus as if someone is trying to do something against me, and I will become the best at it. So, no games. Okay, cool. The family's wondering, what the fuck? Like, this guy is on the newspaper, this and this and that. So I kept playing until I didn't want to play anymore because I had nothing to prove. I said, I'm not going to make the majors. I'm not that good. And I don't enjoy the game anymore. So I remember another thing. Let's get some comments in. My parents never came to my football games, but were always upset if I didn't go to my sister's things. Interesting. My dad was my coach and my mom went to every game. Good for you. You had that. Those are some good parents right there. What was your batting average? Well, I batted over 400 almost every year, except when I got older because guys started throwing changeups and curveballs, and I'm like, oh, this is tough. Cut the ties and grind on. Right. Family can be very toxic. I'm a dink. Dual income, no kids. Alex smashing since 13. Y'all bet you would have some badass kids, a whole MLB team. My friends call me Big Al, and I hit dingers. I had a jacket. When we won the championship in it was like Holyoke Water Power. It was a yellow and black uniform. And when we won the championship, they gave us jackets. And they said, what do you want your jacket to say? And they would call me Big Al. Because I was a chubby kid that I would hit the ball pretty decent. So I got a jacket and it said Big Al. And it was yellow and black. So I'm wearing this jacket around the house and my father's like, what the fuck's that jacket? And I'm like, we won the championship and I'm Big Al. And he's like, And you could tell that he was like, I am not part of this kid's like extracurricular life. Like his passions, things that he's into. Now, again, guys, it's all about how you focus that energy. I'm not sitting here having daddy issues. I'm not sitting here having mommy issues. I simply just cut motherfuckers off that should not be in my life, and I live my life a completely different way. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of just do my own thing. I have a hyper focus, and I do kind of have a chip on my shoulder. Let's be honest. But if that allows me to work harder, and get things that I normally wouldn't if I was relaxed and had all this support, then so be it. Should we do Bumble Swipes? Because this is like a somber show. I don't know if Bumble Swipes are proper. Because I could tell you more stories about lack of support. I could tell you guys more stories about lack of support that would make you go, God damn it, Alex. I'm like, hey, that's all good. You know what? We'll forego Bumble Swipes because this is obviously not one of those shows. But I'll tell you two more stories. So let's talk about the high school graduation. High school graduation. I went to my brother's. I went to my sister's. How many people showed up to mine? 0. But no big deal. But the funniest thing that happened during that graduation is this. I get really well dressed. I had enough credits to graduate junior year. Meaning senior year, I coasted. Senior year, I took home economics. Senior year, I learned how to fucking sew. I'm like, I got 2 studies. All I had to do was pass gym and math. I knew I wasn't going to go to college. So I coasted and had plenty. So I had enough credits to graduate junior year. But, senior, you couldn't early graduate. There was no mechanism. And anyway, it was Holyoke High School, guys. Holyoke High School was you could get the best grade point average on the planet. The colleges didn't give a fuck. It was in such a shitty neighborhood that it didn't matter. So, graduation day comes, and you're supposed to grab your diploma and go back and sit down, right? So everyone's getting their diploma, Luis Baez, blah, 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 Alejandro Flores. I get my diploma, and I take a hard right, and I walk home. Because I'm never going to see any of these motherfuckers again. I wasn't tight with anyone in high school. I was super focused on my own shit. So I take a right, and I start walking home. Take off my gown and cap, roll it up in my on my side, and I have my diploma with my name on it. And I walk my ass home, not that far, maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe less. So I walk home. Dad was chilling there, and he's like, and I had a baseball game that afternoon. So I get home, and he goes, where were you? And I said, graduating high school. And he was like, you could tell he went, fuck. Jesus. And I'm like, Dad, I get it. You're doing street shit. You're doing weird shit. It's all good, Dad. I'm good. Sure, a little bit of me would have wanted to see the family there for support, but, it wasn't. And they just didn't have they don't have that mechanism. They had it for everyone else for some reason, but they don't have that mechanism for me. So I'm like, all right, well, what are you going to do? There's nothing I can do about it. So let's fast forward again. Another story. I'm 22, right around the time that I had the house with my sister. I had this badass notch that I told you about that I sold to get the other house. And the notch was an 11.7 car. I had a little Sneaky Pete nitrous bottle in the back, and it would probably be like 11.2 car, 11.1 car with the little bottle. But I never used it at the track. I only used it on the street. So in my town, a couple of towns over, Springfield, Massachusetts, there were races every Friday and Saturday on Bernie Avenue. There were races every Saturday and every Friday on Bernie Avenue. And the worst of the worst go to those races. Drug dealers, gang members, because they bet money. So my buddy called me. He goes, yo, there's some action here tonight, and you can clean up because these cars are fast, but they're not as fast as your notch. So he called me. I head down, and sure enough, there's Mustangs, there's Monte Carlos, there's everything. And this is street racing heaven. It was a dig deal. And everyone could watch the race from a parking lot beginning to end. And that's where everybody parked. They didn't get in the middle of the street. They didn't do any of that bullshit. And you all went on an arm drop. Perfect. So I'm there with my M&H drag radial. M&H bias plies with 430s and and a 125 shot on a 2,800 pound notch. I am cleaning up house. My dad had no idea I had that car. My dad had no clue I built that car. My dad had no clue I street raced. So I'm out there beating everybody. I had one. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have street raced, you just have those nights that you are the fastest motherfucker there. That was my night. So Dad is there with his crew. I don't know what the fuck they did. I mean, I know what they did, but I can't talk about it. And he's watching this car just gap motherfuckers. And I had 0% tint on that motherfucker. Gap, just beat the shit out of everybody. So I beat the whole fucking parking lot. So I park it. And I never get out of the car. I literally never get out of the car. I just wait to see if anybody wants to race. They just flash their lights at me. I go out. I don't socialize. I don't chit chat. I don't do nothing. I stay in my shit. If I want to dip, I dip. If I want to get a race, someone comes up to me, flashes their lights, we go to the spot and we race. That's it. So Freddie, my buddy Freddie, had come up to me and he's like, yo, man, your car is gapping fools. And I got out of the car to talk to him. And my father saw me and he's like, hey. I go, hey, what's up? He's like, that's you? I go, yeah. He's like, you race? I go, yeah. He's like, hey, your car's fucking fast. I go, yeah. And again, the same look he had when he didn't come to my graduation and the same look he had when he looked at the newspaper with me fucking smashing shit. And you could tell there's a little regret in his eyes. And I'm not there to rub it in his face. I'm just going, Dad, I get it. You had a lot of other shit to worry about. I'm good. But in the same breath, don't expect me to go to anyone's shit, right? So now I'm up. Hey, how come you don't call me? Hey, how come I don't talk to you that much? Hey, how come you don't visit often? The chickens have come home to roost. That's how it works. You get what you give. All right, enough stories, enough of that. Let's see a couple more comments and we'll get the fuck out of here. My dad, who's away from his family 30 years, picked up our family and moved us to Puerto Rico, where he thought his family would receive him with open arms, but they've been at war ever since. Story time with Big Al. This is gold now. Legit, I think I found you on Google. There's a photo. Where? Let me see. Google, let me see. I'm sure you sent it on Instagram. Let me see. Would you look up Alejandro Flores, Holyoke, Massachusetts? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's LinkedIn though. Well, why would you send me a LinkedIn profile? Why would you send me a LinkedIn profile? That's like looking up my Facebook. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, what are you gonna do? That's so weird. Camaro. If your Gen 5 is gonna be okay, I got that. Let's get back to the comments and we'll get out of here. Oh shit, here we go. Damn, that's hardcore. Family always plays favorites. In all honesty, mid to low 11s is a pretty good car. Race Masters. And I can't find second shift. What did you look up? These stories tonight were awesome. Chat. What year was The Notch? 86. Great chat tonight. And the movie, Alejandro Flores, the movie, we need this. Oh, bro, it wouldn't be great, but it is interesting. I accomplished the best things in my life when people said you can't do it, says Matt 2011 GT. I'm telling you guys, having support. Okay, so real quick side note. Because I don't want to repeat history, and I know how important it is to support someone graduating an important moment of their life. My girlfriend's brother, a guy I have had maybe 6 interactions with, nice kid, young kid, graduated from basic training in the Coast Guard. I flew up to watch him graduate. Right. Because I know how important it is to the next person. You don't carry the shit that's done to you to others. So when he graduated, he saw his mom, his dad, his sister, my girlfriend, and me. So he must have been like, God damn, they flew all the way up from Florida to watch me graduate. And it was in the Northeast. So guys, just because it's done to you and family, you don't get to choose your family, but it doesn't mean you have to repeat the same shit. I understand how important it is for someone to have support there when they're graduating from an important moment in their life. As long as you don't like repeat the same bad things that happened, I think you're good to go. I don't know how the hell we got on this show today, but it was a good time letting you guys know. And it gets to give you a peek as to how I operate and why I operate the way I do and why I have no issue walking away from any situation. All right, guys, someone said, Thomas Akumbe, do you still respond to emails related to the TDC chat? I got some questions. Yes, ydbtforlife@gmail.com. Always. That's right. You know how I felt not to have anyone there to congratulate you. Cape May, exactly. First Pasteles. Cape May is exactly where I was. Nice area. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Today you learned a lot about Theo Alex. So hopefully you guys take that into account next time you watch my shows, my live streams, and see how hard I work to get you guys content on both channels. But I know that you guys appreciate it, and I know we have 115 people watching this chat. I'm hoping it's some people that are pocket watching and wondering what's going on in my life. There you go. I let out a lot of stories today. All right, guys, I'm out of here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, YDBT Daily on the other channel. And depending on what happens Saturday, I might do a show or not. Guys, I work on the cars all day Saturday. So you must forgive me if I don't give you a show Saturday or a live stream or a video, because I am zonked from working on the car Saturday. So hopefully you guys can bear with me while I get through some of these projects, and then I can get back to the regularly scheduled programming. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll see some of you tomorrow. The rest of you, maybe Saturday, maybe not. Have a good night, guys. See you later.